All right, everybody, circle up.
From Wish TV.
Here we go.
Indie Style is Indie's only live local lifestyle program.
Everything they do is great.
You're part of it.
Talk about things that I want to know about.
Where life and style meet.
Oh, this is great.
Really great energy.
Really having a wonderful time.
The best.
I love it. Everything about him's great.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the big announcement you've all been waiting for.
This is the Indie Style Podcast.
All right, let's get right to it.
On the All Indiana Podcast Network.
From Wish TV's Indie Style, I'm producer Peggy, and on this episode, I'm sharing a recent Indie Style segment that I think you're going to enjoy. Randy Ollis has an inspiring chat with author Ed Hajim about his new book, On the Road Less Traveled.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number biggest sale of the year. All beds on sale, up to 50% off the limited edition smart bed. Plus free premium delivery with any smart bed and adjustable base. Ends Labor Day. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
Audible's romance collection has something to satisfy every side of you. When it comes to what kind of romance you're into, you don't have to choose just one. Fancy a dalliance with a duke, or maybe a steamy billionaire. You could find a book boyfriend in the city and another one tearing it up on the hockey field. And if nothing on this earth satisfies, you can always find love in another realm. Discover modern rom-coms from authors like Lily Chu and Ali Hazelwood, the latest romantasy series from Sarah J. Maas and Rebecca Yarros, plus Regency favorites like Bridgerton and Outlander. And of course, all the really steamy stuff. Your first great love story is free when you sign up for a free 30-day trial at audible.com/Wondery. That's audible.com/Wondery.
On the Road Less Traveled, an unlikely journey from the orphanage to the boardroom by author Ed Hajim. It is, as the press release tells us, filled with human drama, wisdom, and timeless live sessions. Well, I thought that would be the perfect fit for Randy Ollis. So I set up the interview. I hope you agree. Enjoy.
And Ed, your book is fantastic. You see it right here. Just tell us a little bit about your book, On the Road Less Traveled.
Well, it was an odyssey. I started about 6 or 7 years ago. The University of Rochester, when I was the chairman of the board of trustees, said, you can't give the gift anonymously. We've got to find out a lot about you. And simultaneously, my wife and my daughter, who was a writer, said, we got to put it down for the grandchildren and the great-grandchildren. So I started into it. And when I got the first galleys done, I sent them out to people. I said, you can't just give this to family and friends. You've got to make this a real experience. So we got it done finally. It took a long time. And I believe that it will help people early in their life make decisions. Maybe my goal is this 16 to 25-year-old group to help them over a few of those early bumps, especially groups that come from underprivileged backgrounds.
Yeah, and you came from an orphanage all the way to the boardroom in your book here. I mean, that's quite a climb up during your life.
Yeah, I was very lucky, but I dedicated the book not only to my family, but to the University of Rochester and to Harvard Business School, as well as the United States of America. It's one of the few places that one can do that. And I've been very lucky all my life, but I found out that I want to communicate that anything is possible. For me, anything was possible. I mean, I started at age 28 when I left the Harvard Business School. I had negative net worth. I had to ask my first company to send me some money so I could travel across country. Right. And so besides anything is possible, I want to know that education is the solution to almost everything. And that's another message I want to get. And finally, I do believe that you'll see in my book that partnership is important. If you can find P1, as I call her, my Barbara, that's very important. But in almost everything you do, if you have the right partners, you're only as good as the partners who you surround yourself with. Yeah. And in my case, when I didn't have good partners or no partners, I didn't succeed. When I had the right partners, I did succeed. So that's one of the things I want to get across to people.
Yeah, and I see here, Ed, too, you talk about finding that passion in life. And I thought whenever I talk to school kids, I always say, find the passion in life, something that you would do, you would enjoy doing it, even if you didn't get paid for it. I think that's so important.
Yeah, you hit it right on the nose. I find your passions, but also find out how your passions change. And mine started with math and science and baseball and basketball, and it moved on to engineering and and intramural sports, and extracurricular activities. But in my junior year at college, I found my real passion, which was putting people together to create a product or accomplish a project. And I found out I got my real passion was to see someone do better than they thought they could. That's very subtle. It's not a subject, it's an activity. And it led me to management. I mean, my engineering faded a little bit in my senior year. When I got in the Navy, I really enjoyed bringing the group together to get a job done. And my first jobs, I found that really turned me on, was to basically get people together and say, we're going to, take that hill.
Yeah, and Ed, we have about a minute here left. I notice you have the 4 Ps in life. Can you explain the 4 Ps here real quick?
Well, I believe it's very important you have a conversation with yourself, and the 4 Ps are language. Find your passions, find your principles, then find your partners, and with those, find your plans. And in studying your plans, be cognizant of your context. In other words, what period of history you live in. Try to find a wave or a cycle or a trend or an unsatisfied need that you can get the wind at your back. But you need your passions and your principles. Try to marry those to some wave during your lifetime. And that's been my life. Okay, and real quick here, Ed, where can we find your book? Amazon, Simon & Schuster. And you go to my website, www.edhajim.com. I'm the only Hajim besides my children in the world. And I appreciate it. This is Ed Hajim, the author of On the Road Less Traveled. Thanks, Ed, for joining us here on Indie Style, and I wish you the very best. You've come a long way, and I'm sure you're going to keep going. Thank you, Randy. Thanks for taking the time. Really enjoyed meeting you. All right, take good care. Have a great day.
From Wish TV's Indie Style, I'm producer Peggy. Be sure to like and subscribe to the Indie Style podcast now on the All Indiana Podcast Network.
Watch Indie Style weekday mornings at 10 a.m. on Wish TV. Follow Indie Style on Facebook and connect for even more at wishtv.com.
This concludes our broadcast day.
For even more great podcasts, go to allindianapodcastnetwork.com.